My name is Dr. Kurt Woeller. I'm an osteopathic physician. I've been in practice for approximately 25 years. And I've been also lecturing for Great Plains Laboratory for many years. I'm also the founder of Integrative Medicine Academy, which is an online academy for courses in integrative medicine. And I've been involved really in integrative and functional medicine pretty much from the get-go. So I've been at this quite a while. The organic acid test provides other chemical compounds that can cause other problems in the body, neurological problems, mitochondrial issues, that aren't detected on stool testing. That's just one example. So if somebody is skipping on the oat, they're skipping on a huge amount of information that can be useful in clinical practice. A MycoTOX profile is a urine test that evaluates for the presence of mold toxins. So it's picking up on toxins of mold. So these toxins that mold produce, if you think about it within the natural world, they're being produced in some regards to create a defense against other competing organisms. But they have toxic properties. So in our body, they get accumulated and they can affect things at the cellular level. They can affect things in the production of proteins or create immune system dysregulation. So the MycoTOX profile is detecting the existence of these toxins that have been produced by mold. Both of those tests should really be run together. In fact, I would never have a situation where I would just do the MycoTOX profile and not do the organic acid test. You can start with the organic acid test. Okay, but it's important to understand that the organic acid test is providing data, but you as a clinician and a healthcare provider need to correlate that information to the clinical presentation of your patient. So there are some markers on the organic acid test that are reflective of mold exposure. If those are elevated, those would tell you, hey, a MycoTOX profile is important to do. But the important thing to understand is that there may be clinical situations that the organic acid test is not reflecting mold exposure. That doesn't mean the person hasn't been exposed to mycotoxins, because you can be harboring mycotoxins in your body for months or years and not be currently exposed to active mold. So both are essential, but you can always start with the oat and add the MycoTOX later. Well, a lot of it comes down to their clinical presentation. So symptoms that they've had of chronic fatigue or prolonged headaches or autoimmune problems or immune system issues that are highly correlated to mycotoxins. Plus their exposure, right? Have they ever had known mold exposure? Are they currently living in a moldy environment? So there's a lot of things you can discuss with regards to this, but those are really big ones. And one of the big ones I often see is people who are just very sensitive to their environment, whether that's chemicals, perfumes, colognes, laundry detergent. They're super sensitive to supplements. They're very sensitive to foods, kind of these universal reactors. Oftentimes, these people have mold or mycotoxins that are part of their clinical picture. I work a lot with autistic kids, and many of these kids have neurochemical imbalances that can be driven by the presence of mold. So it's always on my radar to do. And I encourage other practitioners to keep it on their radar too, because if you don't test, you can't detect. And there is a lot of people out there with chronic health problems that they're not getting the proper testing done and they're not finding out exactly what they're being exposed to, and mold is a huge problem.